Now at 9, another business in Baxter Springs, Kansas will soon close its doors, leaving many people without jobs. Look at the impact on the community. Plus, how downtown Joplin is trying to find a balance between businesses leaving and new ones coming in. And the executive director for the Ronald McDonald House in Joplin calls it a career after 26 years.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Tanya Bach. You might have noticed some businesses have closed or relocated from downtown Joplin. KOAM's Amber Jenkins talked with the Downtown Joplin Alliance for an update.
Downtown Joplin sees a share of businesses coming and going, but the Downtown Joplin Alliance says this is the journey to find balance.
But there ends up being a lot of service industries and stuff in downtown, which is great, and we want those as well. But we're trying to right now find that right mix of getting enough, food opportunities and fun opportunities and shopping opportunities to engage and create that sidewalk life that really makes downtown feel alive.
Having a variety of customer-facing storefronts can make downtown feel alive. One new business is keeping that in mind.
Like, Carmine's, for example, they moved out of the area completely, like the family did. But another pizza place is coming in that same location, should be open in a few weeks.
One of my friends was in this place called Carmine Wood Fired, and he had a pretty good business. Of course, he was open limited hours. So we are trying to open up full days instead of just half days.
New York Pizza and Deli isn't the first business venture that Orlando is pursuing. He knows the power of a supportive community.
It's been pretty good. Joplin's taking care of us, so.
Facts! Orlando is eager to take advantage of the downtown's foot traffic while already planning for the next business step.
There's also a nice night crowd. People hang out here and stuff. So we will be providing, I don't have my liquor license yet. It's still in the works, but we will have a full bar. I call it limited full bar.
Reporting in Joplin, Amber Jenkins, KOAM News.
New York Pizza and Deli is opening in the coming weeks. Well, Mother Nature is getting busy outside tonight. Chief Meteorologist Doug Eddy joins us with a first look at the weather.
Yeah, we have some scattered showers and thunderstorms out there for portions of the 4-state area. Of course, we need the rain. 83 was our high. 68 is where we started, pretty close to our average of 81 degrees. And look at the showers and thunderstorms rotating through over the past couple hours. A lot of thunder, a lot of lightning, especially northeastern parts of Oklahoma, and then kind of working into the metro. But most of the rain really south of Pittsburgh, and then we do have one severe thunderstorm warning northern parts of Craig County. Strong storm through Ottawa County, all the way down toward Grand Lake, and then thunderstorms also McDonald County, Newton County, and then a little bit of rain picking up through Joplin as well. And this is what we're going to see as we go through the next several hours. Bands of scattered showers and thunderstorms. We're looking at the midnight hour. These continue through the overnight hours, so we'll be talking more about storms here in just a little bit.
All right, thanks, Doug. Another person is sentenced for the death of a woman who was kidnapped and shot after being forced into a well in Lawrence County, Missouri. Frank Sheridan pleaded guilty to 1 count of kidnapping in the 2020 death of Sarah Pascoe of Aurora, Missouri. A judge yesterday suspended his 15-year sentence and gave him 5 years probation. In 2020, authorities say 9 people played a role in Pascoe's shooting death. And they were also involved in the non-fatal shooting of another woman. Of the 9 originally charged with first-degree murder, Sheridan was released in January of 2022 on his own reconnaissance after he agreed to testify against the other defendants. Kansas Governor Laura Kelly today announced $200 million in funds for community infrastructure projects in the state. It's called the Build Kansas Fund. It'll provide matching grants to communities for water, transportation, energy, cybersecurity, and broadband projects through 2027. A lot of families in the Baxter Springs, Kansas area are in a race to find jobs. In 10 days, National Safety Apparel, previously known as King Louie in Baxter Springs, will close its doors, leaving more than 70 people unemployed. But they're not alone. At the end of July, trucking company Yellow Corporation also ceased its operations, leaving more than 30 people out of work in the city. KOAM's Fernanda Silva has the story.
Less than half a mile separates the entrances of Yellow Corporation and National Safety Apparel in Baxter Springs. Besides sharing the location by the end of September, the companies will also share the fact that both will be closed, leaving more than 100 people unemployed. Teresa Humphrey is one of them. She has been working with NSA for more than 35 years. Now she's trying to plan her future.
It's sad, makes me want to cry. It's emotional. Don't know what to expect. I'm scared because I don't know what to expect. Just gonna stay here and work as long as I can.
While many employees like Humphrey decided to stay at the company until the very last day, others left earlier as they were finding other opportunities. Her husband is one of them.
It was relief, yeah, because it was pretty stressful. It was very stressful for me, for my family, my friends. My household.
0.4 miles from there is Yellow Corporation, where David Harper spent the last 10 years working. Now in a new job, he's feeling the impact on his routine.
I was home every day. Now I'm gone 4 days at a time, and I'm not used to it yet. I'm getting there. I miss my house, I miss my life, I miss my dogs.
And on his paycheck.
The money I'm making now is nowhere near what I make.
This is the sign now standing by the entrance of former Yellow Corporation in Baxter Springs. It says that all company operations have ceased as of July 30th.
According to Amy Kaufman, Economic Development Director for Cherokee County, the impacts of the closure go beyond the company workers.
With reduced consumer spending, also reduced tax revenue, with that business not there, not paying taxes, that's going to affect spending as well and our economy ultimately.
Even with the difficulties, Humphrey and Harper echo the same thought.
It'll be hard for a little bit, but we'll survive.
We'll get there.
In Baxter Springs, Fernanda Silva, KOAM News.
Kaufman says people who are impacted by the closures can contact Cherokee County's Economic Development Office or the Pittsburgh Work Center. They can help build a resume, apply and search for jobs, and even provide additional training.
That our Ronald McDonald House or our charity could really do what
After nearly 26 years, Annette Thurston is retiring from her role as executive director of the Ronald McDonald House of the 4 states. An intimate group gathered at the Ronald McDonald House today to honor Thurston's service to the community. She oversaw the foundation's establishment and has been there for a lot of achievements in the years since. But to Thurston, it all comes down to their volunteers.
the ability to ease the stress, to lift the burden that they are bearing, means everything here. It's about the care, it's about the comfort, it's about making a difference in the lives of children and families. And
from a different perspective, but I know her heart will
Well, Thurston won't officially retire until the end of the year. In the meantime, the Succession Planning Committee will conduct a national search in the hopes of finding someone to fill Thurston's shoes.
Adjustments based upon federal
Chief Justice of the Kansas Supreme Court today addressed the Pittsburgh Noon Rotary Club. Chief Justice Marla Luckert talked about her road to career success, including the struggles of being a woman in the law profession and how to balance work and personal life. The theme for the event, Women Are Champs.
I hope that they too become committed to being part of a community of supportive women who stand together to help each other get through the life's ups and downs, celebrate the ups, work through the downs, and because all of us benefit as a community, as a state, as a country.
The event was co-sponsored by KOAM, and all women were invited to attend. Well, Webb City School today received national recognition. The U.S. Department of Education today named Webb City's Harry S. Truman Elementary School as a National Blue Ribbon School. The recognition is based on a school's overall academic performance or progress in closing achievement gaps among student subgroups on assessments. The school is the only one in this area. One of only 353 schools in the nation are singled out for this honor. Coming up, going for a natural treatment.
The magic mushroom industry is growing as people hope the fungi can help improve their mental health. I'm Marianne Rafferty. That and much more coming up.
A common infection within hospitals does not spread from patient to patient as often as previously thought. A study from the University of Michigan found C. diff, which causes diarrhea and potentially life-threatening colon damage, is usually already in a patient's gut, and a still unknown trigger causes the infection to spread. Rates of anxiety, depression, and other mental health issues have been on the rise, and while traditional treatments exist, some supporters of psychedelic mushrooms hope they can open new doors for the future of mental health. Fox News correspondent Marian Rafferty takes a look at how the concept is gaining traction here in the States.
With the nation facing higher rates of mental health problems, advocates of magic mushrooms hope the fungi can be a possible remedy, citing how the mushroom's psychedelic effects can alter a person's thinking, helping them develop new coping strategies and overcome trauma.
I met several people that had experienced healing.
After being treated with 2 doses of magic mushrooms and given psychotherapy, adults who misused alcohol had an 83% decrease in their drinking, according to a study published in the journal JAMA Psychiatry. Some researchers say the mushrooms can also provide relief for PTSD and severe depression.
This kind of journey is not for the faint of heart.
Kathy Jonas owns the Epic Healing Center in Oregon, the first state to legalize adult use of magic mushrooms. She already has a waiting list of more than 3,000 people looking for treatment.
This is very much about supported use for adults 21 years of age or older, and that support comes from licensed facilitators who don't handle or sell the psilocybin products, but instead provide preparation, administration, and integration sessions to clients.
But while the Oregon Psychiatric Physicians Association calls the mushrooms unsafe, supporters hope the practice will gain wider acceptance as a new method of treating mental health issues. The FDA recently issued recommendations for researchers designing clinical studies around psychedelic drugs and mental disorders. Marianne Rafferty, Fox News.
Well, Doug is next with a complete look at the forecast. And later, with less than a month from high school softball playoffs, Carthage looks to continue its hot streak as they take on Branson.
Well, it definitely turned out to be a cloudier day for us today. Plus, we've had scattered showers and thunderstorms for portions of the 4-state area. Not everywhere, but portions of the region. You can see the roads are wet, parking lots wet. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo, just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Look at the thunderstorms kind of blossoming, especially northeastern Oklahoma, pushing into southwestern parts of Missouri. Even one severe thunderstorm warning, and this is for Craig County in northeastern Oklahoma for winds at 60 miles per hour and 1-inch hail. And then we got showers and thunderstorms spreading southwest Missouri, even northwest Arkansas. One little guy popping up just to the west of Pittsburgh. All right, let's zoom in. First, you can see this little thunderstorm, Girard to Pittsburgh. Then once you get south of Columbus, showers and thunderstorms picking up, and then very electric storms. This is through Craig County, Ottawa County, northeastern Oklahoma, and then we'll track a little bit farther toward the east. Showers and thunderstorms, McDonald County, some showers back through Berry County. And then once you get into Newton County and Jasper County, we do have rain, moderate to heavy rain through Joplin, Neosho, Carthage, and then it starts to taper off a little bit farther north that you go. But we are going to see this wave continuing to work through and even flaring up more as we go through the overnight hours. So let's go through the next several hours. We'll stop at about midnight. Heaviest rain, showers and thunderstorms along the I-49 corridor, stretching back toward Grand Lake. And then as we continue, thunderstorms flaring up again. Another little batch, Kansas, Oklahoma. Here's about 3 o'clock in the morning. As we continue into the morning hours, heaviest rain starts to rotate out. So here's 6:30 in the morning. We're still going to have scattered thunderstorms through the morning, and then most of this will start to calm down once we get into tomorrow afternoon. Of course, temperatures cooler, clouds and showers sitting upper 60s to near 70, raining hard. 7th and range line. Visibility has dropped, south winds at about 10 miles per hour. So this wave is rotating through, but we have another one back toward the west that will flare up additional showers and thunderstorms for us, especially as we head toward the weekend. Rain chances stay high tonight through the morning, and then we're still going to have some scattered thunderstorms tomorrow night into Thursday morning, as we'll have numerous rounds of showers and thunderstorms. All right, let's move to the noon hour tomorrow. Still a few scattered thunderstorms pushing out Most of the afternoon will start to dry out, and then we'll get a few additional ones that will start to try to pop up tomorrow night, mainly in our far southern counties. So at least we're getting some rain, the rain that we definitely need. 77 tomorrow, 83 on Thursday, 82 on Friday. Thunderstorms again Saturday, mainly in the morning, and then Saturday night into Sunday morning. So we have numerous shots to get some very beneficial rain that we obviously need across the area.
Oh, a lot of storm chances might keep people indoors too, though.
That's true.
But we need the rain, like you said.
Yes, we do.
All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, coming up, a new strike deadline.
The Auto Workers Union is putting pressure on the big three automakers to reach a new deal by Friday, or the strike will get larger. I'm Rebecca Castor in Washington. The details coming up.
Negotiations between the United Auto Workers Union and the big three automakers are at a standstill. For now, the union does not want the White House's help. And with the UAW endorsement up for grabs, Donald Trump is also getting involved with a trip to Detroit next week. Fox News correspondent Rebecca Castor has more from Washington.
In Michigan, Missouri, and Ohio, auto workers at 3 facilities are on their 5th day on the picket lines, demanding higher wages and a shorter work week from the big three automakers Ford, GM, and Stellantis.
The people that are making billions, they want to make more billions, and they want people that make $30 an hour to make $30 an hour forever.
The union president has given the automakers until Friday at noon to come to the table with a better contract, or more workers will walk out.
We're going to keep hitting the company where we need to, when we need to.
The automakers maintain they're negotiating in good faith. As the pressure mounts, former President Trump is expected to skip the second GOP presidential debate next week to travel to Michigan, a key battleground state, to rally with the striking workers.
Donald Trump doesn't care about their wages. He doesn't care about whether they're getting benefits. He doesn't care about their job security.
The Biden-Harris campaign also taking aim at Trump, painting President Biden as the union-friendly candidate, sharing in a statement, instead of standing with workers, Trump cut taxes for the super wealthy, while auto companies shuttered their doors and shipped American jobs overseas. But Trump says auto workers are, quote, being sold down the drain because of Biden's policies pushing electric vehicles.
Every time that we subsidize the purchase of an electric vehicle, we subsidize the destruction of an American auto worker.
Trump's travel plans to Michigan come as the Auto Workers Union has yet to formally endorse Biden for a second term. Some Democrats are pushing Biden to visit the picket line as well. In Washington, Rebecca Castor, Fox News.
Elon Musk, CEO of X, said he is considering charging all users a monthly fee to use the platform formerly known as Twitter. Musk made comments during a live-streamed event on X with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. He said it was the only thing he can think of to, quote, combat vast armies of bots. Now, Musk did not give a timeline for the possible shift or specify what the fee would be beyond saying, quote, a few dollars or something. A Wisconsin-based company is recalling portable generators. It says the generic fuel tank can fail to vent adequately and cause fuel to expel when open, posing fire and burn hazards. Generac says people who own the recalled generators should immediately stop using them and contact the company for a free repair kit. Up next, we'll learn how Doritos pulled out all the stops for this record-breaking cheese pull. Doritos achieved a new record for the highest cheese pull after they pulled off a stunt in Somerset, England. Helicopter dipped a giant dip into a special cheese blend inside of a 14-foot tall replica of nachos, and then stretched the cheese 49 feet up without it breaking. Impressive. The company said the stunt took over a month of preparation with the assistance of cheese scientists, helicopter pilots, and others on the ground. 30 more minutes of news, weather, and sports is coming your way. President Biden and Ukraine's president go before the United Nations to plead the case for further support in the war against Russia. Plus, Congress grills the head of FEMA on the nation's disaster preparedness. President Biden today renewed his support for Ukraine at the United Nations General Assembly. It comes as some Republican lawmakers urged the U.S. to send less aid for war efforts. Fox's Colonel Scott has more.
We gather once more at an inflection point in world history.
President Biden calling for global cooperation at the United Nations General Assembly on Tuesday, saying the United States would seek to, quote, responsibly manage competition with China.
None of these partnerships are about containing any country. They're about a positive vision for our shared future.
The president also trying to rally support for Ukraine. His administration is preparing a new military aid package ahead of President Volodymyr Zelensky's visit to the White House Thursday.
Russia's price for peace is Ukraine's capitulation, Ukraine's territory, and Ukraine's children.
But some congressional Republicans criticize the additional aid and say Zelensky should look elsewhere.
My mind on that is made up. He should go to Europe.
Also speaking to the General Assembly Tuesday, the president of Iran. His remarks come just a day after the U.S. released 5 Iranian prisoners and handed over $6 billion in frozen funds in exchange for 5 Americans. Outside the UN, the Iranian president's visit to the U.S. sparking protests.
Raisi may stand there, but the people of Iran stand here.
On Wednesday, President Biden meets with the president of Brazil and the Israeli prime minister. Colonel Scott, Fox News.
5 of the Americans wrongfully detained for years in Iran are finally back in the U.S. Their plane landed this morning at Fort Belvoir, Virginia, near Washington, after months of secret negotiations. The group includes 2 businessmen, an environmentalist, and a former UN worker. A dramatic announcement from Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau. He says there is credible evidence of ties between India's government and an assassination carried out in Canada in June of a Sikh activist. Now, Canada has expelled a top diplomat as a result. The Indian government says the allegations are absurd. The administrator of FEMA was on Capitol Hill today, grilled by lawmakers following a series of devastating disasters. Fox News correspondent Griff Jenkins has more from Washington.
Between wildfires, hurricanes, chemical spills, and the migrant crisis, FEMA has had its hands full this year, and now Congress is asking tough questions about how the agency has responded to those disasters. FEMA Administrator Deanne Criswell sparring with Republican lawmakers on a number of hot-button issues, including whether the agency's environmental mission is getting in the way of helping Americans in need.
Are you doing anything to reduce the impact of these net zero policies?
Our focus, Chairman, is to work with communities to reduce the impact of whatever the risk is that.
Okay, so the answer would be no.
Another topic sparking disagreement, illegal immigration, with some Republicans skeptical about the role FEMA is playing. Criswell says she's just trying to do her job and stay out of politics.
Do you believe that there is an immigration crisis facing us?
Representative, I'm not an immigration agency, but what I can tell you is that my agency will continue to focus on supporting jurisdictions that are managing the care of immigrants.
Some lawmakers also floating the idea of cutting FEMA's funding, claiming the agency has added too many layers of bureaucracy and pushed political agendas. Criswell pushing back, saying her only priority is saving lives and property.
A lapse in appropriation for FEMA's disaster relief fund has an impact on everybody across this nation.
President Biden is asking Congress for $12 billion to replenish the disaster relief fund. In Washington, Griff Jenkins, Fox News.
Well, a bit later, with bee attacks on the rise, some firefighters are using foam to fight back.
Well, we still have showers and thunderstorms kind of working through the region, especially in our southern counties. Some heavy amounts of rain. You can see it's raining. Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, of course, Indigo is just outside of Seneca, Missouri. Heaviest rain right through northeastern Oklahoma, kind of rotating into southwestern Missouri, also flaring up a little bit once you get into southeastern parts of Kansas. But everywhere you see at least yellow, we're getting some moderate rain. Where you see the reds, that's where we are getting heavy amounts of rain. We do have one severe thunderstorm warning, so this is Veneta points northward. This is in Craig County. This is due to winds at 60 miles per hour and about 1-inch hail. Heavy rain continues to Grand Lake. Look at all the thunder and the lightning. Miami, just south of Seneca, just west of Neosho. And then you can see the storms picking up once we get into McDonald County, Newton County, even a little bit into Berry County. We can track a little bit farther north. We got light to moderate rain, a few thunderstorms, Joplin, Carthage, and then we can continue farther north, thunderstorms flaring up through Pittsburgh, just to the west of Girard. So we do have quite a few scattered thunderstorms out there, and these are going to continue with this wave pushing through as we go through the overnight hours tonight. All right, let's go through time. We're going to stop at about midnight. Thunderstorms flaring back up again. Kansas, Oklahoma, the batch that is on top of us now kind of shoves into southwestern parts of Missouri. Let's continue through the night. Heaviest rain by 3 o'clock in the morning shifts into southwestern Missouri, but look at this. Another little batch flaring up out across northeastern parts of Oklahoma. 6 o'clock in the morning, heaviest rain, Missouri, but we also have this batch, northeastern Oklahoma, and then slowly through the morning hours, the heaviest rain will slowly start to push off toward the east. Even by noon, early afternoon, we're still going to have some scattered thunderstorms out there. All right, temperatures cooling down due to the rain. Most of us are sitting into the upper 60s. Still raining. 7th and range line, 67 visibilities are down. We have gusts over 20 miles per hour. Right behind this wave, here comes our next wave, which will build in late this week and then heading into the weekend, giving us additional rain chances. Rain chances stay high tonight, kind of flare up and down throughout the day and into tomorrow night as we will still have scattered thunderstorms. By the noon hour, heaviest rain starting to work out of here. Then we get a little bit of sunshine late in the day, and then late tomorrow night, a few little scattered showers trying to flare up in our southern counties, but most of us really dry. May get a few showers to start the day on Thursday, but most of Thursday also is looking pretty good. Rain chances will go back up on Friday. All right, 77 for us tomorrow, 83 Thursday, 82 Friday. Thunderstorms in again late Saturday into Sunday morning, and then drying out a bit as we get into next week.
Well, we need the temperatures to be cool, which they are. That's great. And I'm loving the lows, and we need the rain.
Yeah, we definitely do.
We'll take it. All right. Thanks, Doug. Well, firefighting crews have a new tool to help them battle wildfires: artificial eyes in the sky. Danish startup company Roboto has developed an AI-equipped drone that tracks and monitors wildfires in real time. Crews currently rely on hours-old fire maps to get an overview of a wildfire, losing valuable time in fighting and controlling the fire. Now, the drone technology helps first responders make decisions on how to battle a blaze during those first moments of ignition by searching predefined areas. Well, coming up in sports, Carthage softball tries to get its 5th win in a row on senior night. Plus highlights from tonight's game between Joplin and Carl Junction. John Dales has those stories and more up next.
Carthage softball has been streaky the past couple weeks. After losing 4 of 5 in a tournament at Ozark, the Tigers have rattled off 4 wins in a row this past week, entering senior night against conference rival Branson this evening. We pick things up top of the first there. Addie Wallace on the mound for Carthage. She allows a single to Kylan Hall early in the game. Later on, Branson's up 2-0 when a nice play over at third by Emmy Stark. Here she makes the scoop, throws to first. That'll end the inning. Kept it at just a 2-0 Branson lead. Same score bottom 2. Alexis Smith lines a single into left field. She would get stranded on base though. Tough going at the plate for the Tigers. Top 3, Wallace back on the mound, getting into a groove. Gets the strikeout swinging there. Very next batter, same result. Back-to-back strikeouts for Wallace. Branson bats were just too much for Carthage to handle this evening, though. The Tigers end up falling on senior night to Branson, 9-3. Meanwhile, 2 more COC softball teams face off tonight in Joplin. The Eagles taking on Carl Junction, both of them needing a win. CJ has lost 4 in a row. Joplin trying to start a winning streak after taking down Seneca yesterday. Carl Junction led 5-0, but Joplin scored 9 in the third to take a 9-5 lead. Kalen Bobsky on the mound first with the strikeout, then flashing the leather. Makes a nice play over to first. Keeps it 9-5 after 4. Now, Joplin's Riley Kelly comes to the plate, bottom of the fourth, smacks one off the wall. That's a stand-up double. Runners on second and third. Later in the inning, Taryn Casey gets one into center. Caught out there by Riley Parker, but plenty deep for an RBI sac fly. CJ comes up needing some life in the top of the fifth. They get it. Alexis Smith goes to right field. She coasts in the second with a double. It's a 10-6 game when Bailey Ledford slaps one the other way for an RBI single. 4 insurance runs for Joplin made it an 11-6 game. Carl Junction hanging around, making plays like this. Caught stealing at second. Nice tag by Hannah Cantrell. Then the celebration as well. Joplin's 9-run third, too much though. Eagles win 11-6. Over to Major League Baseball. Royals nearing the end of their game tonight with the Guardians. We're in the 9th inning. Kansas City holding on to a tight 7-6 lead. A win would guarantee a series victory. Big day at the plate for Royals outfielder MJ Melendez. 3 for 4, home run in the first, RBI single in the third, and then he also scored on an error in the fifth. Meanwhile, in the NL Central, Brewers holding on to a 7-3 lead against the Cardinals over at Busch Stadium in the 9th inning. Not the start Cards fans were hoping for out of Drew Rom. He only goes 3 1/3. 4 of his 5 earned runs all come across the plate in the 4th inning. And he also was great last time out, shut out Baltimore on the road a week ago. Back to high school softball, though. It's kind of weird how fast the season has gone by that they're already playing senior night games in, it feels like mid-September. It shouldn't be playoffs yet, but it's coming around the corner soon.
How soon is playoffs?
It'll be early October, so next couple of weeks.
Yeah, just around the corner.
Yeah.
All right, thanks, John. Back with more news after this. Bee attacks are on the rise, and fire officials in one fire department say the best line of defense for them when responding to a bee attack is to use foam, the same foam they use to fight fires. Fox's Stephanie Bennett has more.
So we are seeing bee attacks throughout the year.
Captain Todd Keller and his team at the Phoenix Fire Department respond to all kinds of calls, from fires and medical distress to now bees.
We will approach a scene. We will stay 150 feet away. Our firefighters will wear their PPE, their personal protective equipment. They will tape their wrists and tape their ankles.
And wherever the bees roam, the best method of attack is apparently this foam.
What we use is a Class A foam, and we put that at the highest concentrate. We will use a sweeping motion on a fog pattern to deter those bees and get our firefighters in to rescue that victim.
Captain Keller says it's the same stuff they use for fires and doesn't harm the bees.
It doesn't kill them. Like I said, the Phoenix Fire Department does not exterminate bees, but that will give us time for our firefighters to get in and grab that victim.
Firefighters also carry EpiPens for those having allergic reactions. They say if you get stung multiple times, call 911. If you see a hive near your house, stay away and call professionals to remove it. Experts say most honeybee swarms and hives should be treated as Africanized bees. Virtually all honeybees in Arizona have been Africanized since before 2000. They often sting in large numbers.
If this bee incident is within 200 feet of a daycare, a school, any kind of business, we will notify that facility.
Coming up, a big sister saves her little sister from a failed haircut, and it goes viral. 3 girls went viral recently after hijinks involved a hair emergency. It took a big sister to save her little sister from a failed haircut administered by a third sister. Ginny Moose has more.
When your little sister comes asking for scissors.
For what? Something. Just something. Be careful.
Should have cut her off. Valentina Zamaripa of Mission, Texas was doing her video blog.
Denise, come right here. Come here. I told you right here.
And thus began an almost 6-minute TikTok that commenters described as literally a coming-of-age movie. They tried to keep Mom in the dark.
Tomorrow's train. Nothing.
The smiling scissor wielder surrendered a lock of hair.
Why are you laughing? I told you not to do anything stupid.
So Valentina did something smart, asking her smartphone
How to cut bait.
Her smirky 3-year-old sister threatened to tattle.
Whoa, you're in trouble.
So her sisters jumped her, and Valentina offered a bribe for her silence.
I'll give you a cookie.
15-year-old Valentina valiantly tried to fix the damage.
Oh my God.
While 8-year-old Camellia fretted.
What have you done to my life? Well, that's cute. You look like Hermione from Harry Potter.
Mom kept coming back.
¿Qué traen?
Nada.
No.
If someone misbehaves, they all risk losing their wireless.
If one goes down, we all go down. Because my mom has always taught us to stick together.
They hid the evidence. The lock of hair ended up in the trash, even though.
I wanted to sell it because I'm a celebrity. I'm famous. Oh.
And then there was the finger pointing.
Whose idea was that?
Valentina's.
At each other. But you really turned on your big sister.
Mm-hmm.
Why did you do that?
And Mom raised the specter of Dad.
Go show your dad. Go show your dad.
Pray for them.
No need. Dad said the bangs looked great. Crisis averted at school picture day. What started with bangs ended with a whimper.
It looks pretty. I don't think she'll mind.
She did pretty good. That's our time for tonight. Thanks for joining us. We'll leave you with video of a sea otter pup in Alaska. Have a great night and an even better tomorrow.